All right. Obviously, we were off yesterday. Today we practiced. Um, looked at it, watch film. We'll watch some video first, do a lift, and then get on the floor here. We like practicing here because we have 6 baskets. We only have 2 down there, so we get some shots up, more shots, more free throws. Shooting the ball well is big. To see this, us shoot it well against a team that really shoots it well, Texas Tech. And then, if we shot the ball well from the free throw line, we didn't make them all, but 75% is a good number. Main thing we emphasized on the last game, or going into the last game, was contain them to get out rebound them and control the basketball. And so we got out rebound by 7, took care of the basketball with 9 turnovers. So 11 more possessions, kind of how we look at it, and that certainly was the difference. So. Getting ready for Texas, like I said, practice today. Certainly, once you go through it, you've seen them enough now because you're watching the other teams that they played. So I'm watching, Tech. I saw them play, and I watched, other teams. You see them play. So, now already going into it, I have a pretty good idea who they are. I watched some film last night, yesterday, night after our game. Athletic. This is the challenge. 2 guards are explosive, Hunter and Amos, and so we've got to contain them. But defensively, we got to get better. We're winning games with offense. We've got to out rebound people, continue low turnovers, but we've got to get a lower percentage defensively. And I know we're forcing a few more turnovers. We're out rebounding people. So that makes up for it in some ways, but we've got to get a lower percentage from that team and that we're going against. And granted, we just played against 2 of the best offensive teams in the country, and Tech has been hot. They've been shooting it well, but too many breakdowns to give them too many threes. And we'll address it today and get in video because yesterday was off.
What do you think the biggest area you guys need to improve on defense is?
Well, again, don't play the best 2 offensive teams in the country on back-to-back weekends. It's probably the best thing to do, but I didn't pick the conference, though I had something to do with it. So I guess you can still blame me for it back in the day. The Big East of the Big 12 was always the plan, so it worked out. I just didn't know I'd be coaching here against this, and the conference would be that bad. So blame it on me for 12 years ago, I guess. That's part of it. Winning the games, they got to stop us too. But, as I said, we did force the 13 turnovers. We out-rebounded, and that's part of defense as well. I'd like more layups to be taken away. That was our emphasis in the last couple games, and we haven't got it done, to be honest. Ball screen coverage just got to get better. We've changed up defenses a little bit, but we just got less mistakes. We call it faults, and we got to limit our faults, and that's how we hold our guys accountable. We chart everything. We've got percentages. We recognize the best defender. I actually haven't seen from the last game, but Chuck was our best defender in the Baylor game by our numbers, by our analytics, and then I actually don't have the results. Today, but it wasn't any of the guys that were usually good for us. A lot of mistakes from our Trey and Micah, who are usually our best defenders, our best low fault guys. And so, sometimes there's some breakdowns, but there was too many last game, and they made us pay on each and every mistake, mental mistake.
You've mentioned a couple times this year looking at the center position kind of as a collective rather than individual performances. Yeah. Are you still pleased with where that position is?
Yeah, we're never going to blow anyway with anybody's individual stats, but, they all have their strengths, and we try to play to them, and that's what we've been doing. And so we've played 4 guys at that spot last game, and really the last, since Jacoby came back is what we've done. So it's been, it's obviously got it done, but I think it can get better here. Because we are talking about all 3 new guys, really Jacoby playing more and trying to do more with them defensively is what it does. So we want to have more versatility at that spot, defensively especially, offensively as well. But it's like I said, we think we're getting good production, but again, in every position we're trying to get better defensively.
From the half court, from non-conference to now, how much growth do you think you've seen in that area?
Offensively, yeah, tremendous. I mean, there's just a better understanding of shot selection. I think pace. I think part of our mistakes were, yes, we want to push, and we're still leading the country in transition and fast break points, but there were some times where we forced some transition opportunities that weren't there, and just recognizing 3-on-5 ain't the one you want to fast break against. So I think we've done a better job in that area. I think just execution. I think knowing our guys' strengths. I think Trey's added a shooter on the perimeter. I think Avery and Jameer are better. I should have recognized. I talked about our low turnovers after last game, but I should have specifically recognized the 2 point guards who had 0 turnovers in the last game. So I think that's part of it too as well. But these are all things that kind of were planned, expected. We hope they get better. That we didn't have the summer or fall with each of those guys that we wanted to have, and I think that held us back a little bit early. Then we lose Jacoby, and then that kind of trying to get him back in the mix, coming back against Cincinnati and Houston, and not ideal. So now I think we're adding him at the right spot, and I continue to see him growing back. Again, obviously it's different caliber of play now than what we were playing the first games of the season, but certainly he had a great day the other day. So. There's a lot of things I think go into it. Some of it expected, some of it a little bit of a surprise.
Coach, Trey Tennyson over the last month or so has had some pretty big games. What kind of growth and changes have you seen?
Yeah, well, until last game, we really were raving about his defense. Yeah. He kind of got made some mistakes. Didn't follow the scouting report as well as we wanted him to, and but offensively, it's just he's. Playing we're you're just getting used to playing with a shooter. That didn't happen overnight. Talking about adding 2 point guards, 3 new guards total. I mean, we shouldn't be doing what we're doing, especially offensively, but we are. And take Texas right here. They've got both guards back. He works at it. I mean, that's the thing I continue to go back to is the kid cares. I mean, he's in the gym, he works. We told him he had to get better defensively, and he did. We told him he's got to work better without the ball and do more with less. I mean, less ball stopping and play better without it. And I think that's where he's led to increased minutes and production.
Kenrich Williams.
More efficient too.
Kenrich Williams is being honored at halftime. I know you didn't recruit him here, but he was on the team that you were here in year 1. Can you just talk about him and his impact on the program?
Year 2 as well.
Yes.
Yeah. No. I mean, he's obviously he's wanted to get done. No one recruited him. He didn't get recruited. He came out of high school. I mean, that's really the story. I mean, he's a kid that no one recruited, was a qualifier, went to junior college as a qualifier, and elevated his game every year, and told him what his weaknesses were, told him what his strengths were, and told him what he needed to do to get to the NBA, and he did it. And now he's a vital part of a team that could win the NBA championship. So. It's really a great story. Sam will be here, the general manager of Oklahoma City. I mean, he says the culture he brings is what they want to have at Oklahoma City. He loves being in that town, and that's why they've committed to him, and he's committed to them. But I think, really, as I said, I mean, it's just I love guys that are similar to Trey that prove people wrong, and. Trent will be here. Trent Johnson will be here. We've been talking. I wanted to make sure that he was here, and excited about that. Chris Tiff is coaching in California at Humboldt. He's the head coach now, so I wish he could be here too for it. But his mom's going to be here. Family. Got a lot of family. Friends are going to be here from the number, and it's kind of a tight fit because Oklahoma City has a game the night before and the night after. But I think it's just he just graduate of TCU, and I think he just represents the culture that you want to have, like OKC and like us, and that underdog mentality. Similar to LT, he was under recruited, same high school, no one wanted him. Came here, has made a career of himself. So LT will be here. I talked to him too as well. Talked to Trent, trying to get all the former players. I think Dr. Cash will be here. Talked to him. He's coming from Florida on the way to Boston. Talk about really making an effort. Reached out to Daryl Browder. I think Desmond's going to be here somehow. Obviously he's injured, so that's part of it. And then Cash and Dr. Cash and Desmond may be on the same flight to go up to Boston, because that's where the Memphis is playing, is what Dr. Cash told me. And then Kurt's going to be here, Kurt Thomas. So I kind of wanted it to be about the whole program, and including all those players and players that played with Kenrich and Trent, who's a good friend, dear longtime friend, and so I think we covered everybody there from what I know of all the guys that played with him. So there'll be a lot of people from Waco here that we want here, so that's good, and that have been invited, I should say, and so I think we covered it all pretty good.
Is it safe to say that he's a guy you point to when you're talking about development?
Yeah, getting better. I mean, he was a non-shooter. Funny thing about Kenrich and Desmond is they both were considered non-shooters, and now their strength is shooting, and coming out and coming here. So it's shooting is work, and coachability, I think, I think that's he's a great interview. But again, we're in this new world too, with how many kids are going to be at the place 4 years, and as he was, and Kenrich and Desmond, and then graduate from your university. So we've got a number of graduates. I think we're counted up with 3 more graduate this spring. So we'll have 10 graduates on our roster by the end of the spring this year. So that's with all that's going on in college athletics. Let's point to the positives that our program is maintaining. With by May it'll be 10 graduates on the roster.
With the fast break offense, what do you think has been the key for why you guys are able to play so fast and be so effective?
We work at it. I mean, we emphasize it. I think it was part of growing this program and trying to find. We didn't have a lot of history. We didn't have a lot of. I joked the other day. I mean, if our basketball history has been great. I mean, if I'm in the Hall of Fame, it hadn't been, I wasn't that good a player. So if I'm in the Hall of Fame, it tells you it wasn't like great history. I think it was just we wanted to emphasize it, we wanted to use it as recruiting, draw interest, and I think the game changed. There's shot clock change. I mean, there's a lot of things that have gone into it, our decision. But we really look at it. USA basketball, playing overseas, a lot of international concepts are brought into play, NBA concepts. That's what I'll do as soon as the season's over. And what I do in this fall is go to NBA teams. And we want to lead the country in fast break points, and to do it 2 years in a row with completely new guards is pretty remarkable to do that. So, if Sean would give us some, he always cuts out a few too that we don't that he doesn't count as fast break points, because he's a slow down guy. But otherwise, we really and it's a whole program commitment as far as. All 5 guys have to run. We have rules. It's defined, but yet obviously there's a lot of freedom to it as well. But there's constants. There's demands. There's measurables, and they have to be attained, or we won't be effective at it.